Hey gang, Professor Feeser here. I provide education solutions to large groups and organizations. If you're looking for a learning pathway for your team or enterprise, feel free to reach out. My contact information is at the end of the video. In today's lesson, we're going to learn about ansible-doc, which is one of those tools you need to know about when you're getting started with Ansible. Effectively, it helps you navigate the plugins, the Python scripts that are installed to let Ansible do things. Everything Ansible does is a Python script called a plugin. Well, to figure out what's installed in your Ansible, to figure out how to use what's installed in your Ansible, ansible-doc is here. So down at the command line, I could do an ansible -- version. You can see the version of Ansible I'm using. Ansible-doc is installed along with Ansible core. So ansible-doc -L list really means technology. Module is a type of plugin. List. So if I do that, it shows me everything that's installed. All the collections, all of the namespaces. The first thing's the namespace. The next thing is the collection. They're just folders. The last piece is the plugin itself. So that's actually a Python script, what I've highlighted there. Scrolling up and down, I mean, yes, a lot of stuff gets installed with a install of Ansible. But a lot more can get installed as well. If I scroll down to Dell EMC, I can see Dell EMC Enterprise, Open Manage, PowerMax, PowerFlex, Dell EMC Unity. Dell has a bunch of power products. PowerFlex, PowerMax, PowerEdge, PowerStore. Ultimately, if you wanted to add more plugins to this lineup, if you wanted to see more functionality, you go out to a website, Ansible-galaxy, it's a public website, or just out to GitHub, and you search for collections. Their collections can be delivered via a tarred up zip file, which is untarred, unzipped, and placed in a special directory on your controller. You can also just clone stuff. You can use the Git protocol to clone it out of GitHub. Maybe lessons for another video. But let's go ahead. Let's just highlight this guy, Dell EMC PowerFlex SDC, as an example. I can do ansible-doc and then type in that name. And it goes, well, how about not the capital H at the end? And it goes, sure, you want to know about that? Here's how to use it. All of this is actually pooled. There's some examples. All of this is pooled right from the script. And up at the top, they're actually telling us where that script is found. So that's the pathway to where that got installed to or from. What we could do without going out to the Galaxy website, which we should, I'm going to try Ansible Galaxy collection install Dell EMC dot. So like I said, Dell has a bunch of power products. We saw PowerMax is installed. We saw PowerFlex. Maybe PowerStore they have a collection for. Okay, we got lucky. There was a collection. Again, I didn't want to turn this video into exploring Galaxy. We can do that in another video. But if you went out to Galaxy, if you searched for PowerStore, you would find a page that said, yeah, run this, and you'll install the collection for PowerStore. What it really means is run this command. We will download a tar zip. That's what that tar GZ is, a tar zip to your system. We'll unpack it, and then we'll place it in a search space within your system. So when you say you want to use anything Dell EMC, we'll go to the Dell EMC folder. When you say you want to use anything PowerStore, we'll go to the Power Store folder and we'll search for it. You basically added a search space to a space that Ansible knows to search for when it encounters names in your playbook. In this case, names that begin with Dell EMC Power Store. We can see that immediately just moving files, unpacking files, and untarring them, moving them into this common search space. Ansible-doc can find them. I can say Ansible-doc, if you give just Dell EMC.PowerStore-L, as long as you give the collection name, or the namespace and the collection name, it will list just that. So I just see that. Unfortunately, there's no way to do that with just the namespace. I wish you could get everything in Dell EMC. You can't. So if you want to, you really are on the hook to use your knowledge of Linux. Ansible-doc, list everything. grep, Dell EMC. So Ansible-doc, show me all the module plugins, and then, hey, grep, limit it to just stuff that begins with Dell EMC. But the Ansible-doc itself won't let you do that. One more example that might be helpful. Ansible-doc itself, by default, you're searching through the technology called module. But if I write something, what else can I search? It'll say that's not a thing. After T, after the technology, you got to list one of these. Become, cache, callback, connection, HTTP API, inventory lookup, keyword. That's pretty neat. So, for example, Ansible-doc-T keyword. These are all keyword-L list. These are all the words that you can use inside of a playbook. That's pretty neat. Cue to quit. Additionally, I could do like technology connection. These are all the ways Ansible knows how to connect to remote systems. And similarly, if you wanted to know more about them, you still put technology connection, but then like ansible.builtin.local would teach me about that particular connection plugin. There we go. Very cool. Well, gang, that was fantastic. We now know how to navigate our Ansible controller, figure out actually what's installed into it from an Ansible perspective, and use it. We also came up a little bit with our understanding of Ansible plugin, Ansible Python framework. You know, what folks mean when they use that type of language. One thing about the Ansible-doc command, it is very particular. You saw as I was using it, I made a couple missteps here and there and said, hey, oh yeah, we got to throw a dash list on the end. Just be more stubborn than the tool. I promise it does work. Gang, I hope you learned something in this video. If you did, please hit like, hit subscribe. I want to see you in the next episode of Code with Feeser.